Feed, an Undead horror, features the vocal talents of Kim White as the narrator, Lola Organa as Kaylee, Anthony Hahn as Isaac, and myself, Mark K. Gamiao, as Uncle John. This podcast will be enhanced by sound effects and ambient music to create an immersive atmosphere. Please enjoy.
Prologue, San Angeles, California. The scorching August heat beat down on the sands of the Palisades Beach and recreational area. With its 2 acres filled with an assortment of carnival rides and games, food trucks, shops, and video arcade, it was the perpetual fairgrounds of the Pax Pacifica amusement park. The city's annual Harvest Festival had reached the final weekend of its month-long celebration, and patrons filled the beach park by the hundreds. Many of the kids eager to get one last taste of freedom before starting their fall semester. Sunbathers lined the pearly white shores. Swimmers, scuba divers, and jet skis raced across the water. Skateboarders, bicyclists, and pedestrians navigated the boardwalk, careful to avoid crashing into one another. Street performers and musicians staked out their corner of the sidewalk, competing with feats of magic and melodious ballads for meager monetary tips. The baristas at the popular Apollo's coffee shop struggled to fill the orders of the line of customers thirsting for their daily caffeine fix. Thrill-seeking enthusiasts screamed their heart's content on the roller coaster. Couples enjoyed a relaxing view of the park atop the Ferris wheel. The double-decker carousel filled to capacity with loud, obnoxious children and their overbearing parents. The delicious aroma of popcorn, cotton candy, and turkey leg permeated the air. Over on the quieter outskirts of the park, several groups of friends and family would socialize amongst themselves, imbibing on alcohol, partaking in an afternoon meal, or simply taking a much-needed break. Just a normal, typical day at the park, one would think, right? Sorry, my friends, but this, sadly, is just the beginning of our dark descent into the chaos and despair that would soon follow after an unfortunate incident. You see, a group of surfers were just returning to shore from a long afternoon of catching waves when Jimmy, let's call him that, noticed a nasty length of bruises running down his abdomen. His friends jokingly scolded him for not wearing a rash guard, but Jimmy waved it off as a possible allergic reaction to something in the water. Since he was neither nauseous nor in pain, he thought nothing more of it and suggested they all end the evening riding the roller coaster. However, Jimmy and his friends weren't the only ones who had the same idea to migrate from the beach to the amusement park. A boy and his sister complained to their mother that their tummy hurt. The same abrasion stretched across their stomachs. A middle-aged woman had just gotten off the carousel, scratching at the rash that suddenly appeared under her arm. Back on the beach, a few more people experienced the same minor skin irritation, but only one had a violent reaction, vomiting profusely on the unsuspecting lifeguard. 2 weeks later, Jimmy was admitted to Boyd Medical ER, complaining that something was wrong with his stomach. At first, he couldn't hold down his food and was forced to regurgitate his meals, no matter how much or little he consumed. However, that particular ailment passed quickly, and he seemed fine the next day, but the worst was still to come. One day later, Jimmy had eaten at Jack Hollander's, a popular buffet establishment. Yet despite gorging himself upon an amazing feast of clam chowder, brisket, potatoes au gratin, filet mignon, oyster Rockefeller, and a selection of cakes and pies, Jimmy was never quite full. He had an overwhelming sense of hunger no matter how much he ate. He neither gained nor lost weight. The feeling of an empty stomach persisted. When the CT and MRI scans came back inconclusive, the doctor had no choice but to send Jimmy home. Ibuprofen and rest were recommended, as it had previously offered a temporary respite. Curiously, a few hours after Jimmy had left the hospital, several more people were admitted, all sharing the same symptoms. That night, Jimmy's roommate Scott, let's go with that name too, awoke to a commotion in the kitchen. He found an extremely agitated Jimmy ransacking the refrigerator, emptying packets of food and canned goods into his mouth, desperate to quell that insatiable hunger. "Why am I still fucking hungry?" came Jimmy's saddened, aggravated cry. Scott reached out, hoping to assuage his roommate's deteriorating mental and physical condition. Without warning, Jimmy bit down hard on his hand. "Ow! What the hell, man?" Scott yelled, pushing Jimmy away. He had broken clean through the skin, blood pouring from the wound. Jimmy abruptly snapped out of his stupor, the manic twitch in his eyes gone. He could think clearly. What's more, his hunger has dissipated. "Sorry, bro," Jimmy apologized. "I don't know what came over me." He saw the damage he had done to Scott. "Shit, I didn't mean to." "Nah, forget about it," Scott said, heading for the bathroom where the first aid kit was kept. "We cool. I'll just clean this up and you take care of things in here, yeah?" He waved at the mess in the kitchen. "Yeah, okay, I can do that," Jimmy replied. He looked at the cans and bags of food spread haphazardly across the floor. Absent-mindedly, he licked his lips, tasting drops of blood. Damn. The hunger had returned, only he wasn't staring at the food. Slowly, his gaze shifted to the bathroom door.
Thank you. You have been listening to Feed, an Undead Horror, featuring the vocal talents of Kim White as the narrator, Lola Organa as Kaylee, Anthony Hahn as Isaac, and myself, Marque Gamiao, as Uncle John. Please like and subscribe for updates on the latest episodes. Until then, be safe, my friends.